recording again. Okay. So welcome everyone. I'm going to ask Nancy to unmute herself so she can say an official welcome from SCORE. Nancy, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm not on mute.
Oh, okay. It
Okay.
says you are, so it's lying to me. Go ahead.
I know. I don't know what's going on. Well, good evening, everyone. And I am a SCORE volunteer and a SCORE mentor for a couple of years now, and I work in the Morris, Warren, and Sussex counties. But I'm here tonight to tell you about SCORE, so it doesn't matter where I work. It matters that you might be interested in having a mentor or an advisor, is what we call ourselves, to help you with any of the issues or questions you may come up with on your business as you start up or you're an established business. Before I do that, I wanted to alert you to a couple of the webinars that we have coming up. On June 10th, we're going to have a webinar that's really about your brand positioning and your value proposition of what you're offering your clients and customers. And in today's climate, you may want to revisit that, and you may want to think about what is happening, and do I need to make some slight changes or maybe some really serious changes to how you're going to position yourself into what we call this new normal. It's a very interesting webinar, highly attended in the past. So I do recommend, if you're in that situation of thinking through, who am I now in this new environment that we're working in? The next webinar we'll have is on Wednesday, June 17th, and it's Simple Sales Strategy for the Unsalesperson. And I don't know about you, but sales isn't one thing that I do very well. And I think this is a really good webinar for those of us who want to learn, how do you actually make it something that you want to do and make it simple and something that is less threatening to those of us who might be a little bit more introverted or shy. But it's also for those that are in sales and they really want to start to pick up some new techniques or tips on how to sell their business. And then the last webinar for this year will be June 24th, really this spring, I should say. And it's how to use podcasting effectively to promote your business. As you know, there's so many different social media venues out there. And one of the best ways is through a video or even a podcast to really get to know your client, to build that relationship with your clients and pending prospective clients that you may be able to bring in by presenting yourself in a manner that really shows what you do and why you do it. So I'm hoping that you'll take a look, go to our website at northwestnewjersey.score.org, and these are listed there, and you can sign up and register for hopefully all of them, if not one. Now let's switch to what is SCORE all about? Because a lot of people have never heard of this, and those that do actually are pretty, positive about their experience. It's a national volunteer organization that is part of the Small Business Administration. So we are funded through that and through the government, but we're all volunteers. We are experienced professionals across all the different business functions that you can think of. When you want to have a question answered, you can go to score.org and ask for a mentor and get specific questions answered just at that one phone call. Or you can ask yourself, maybe I want to have an ongoing relationship with somebody who can really advise me and coach me as I'm either starting up my business or I'm starting to feel some issues, particularly with this new environment we're working in. So you can do it any way that's right for you. And believe me, we will work with you across the life of your business. So from startup to somebody who's been in business for 20, 25 years. And we do have clients with that longevity in the market. And what you can expect is that we will be someone that you can count on to find the answer to your question. It may not be the mentor you're working with, but they have 10,000 volunteers across the United States, and they can find somebody with the expertise or the knowledge that you're looking for. And you can do an online Zoom call, you can do an email, you can do a phone call. You don't always have to meet in person, but it's our job as your mentor to be that conduit to the right resource within the organization. We also will recommend legal and accounting advice. We typically give 3 different referrals, so it's up to you to find the one that fits your needs if you want to go that route. Because some of the advice we give, it's better for you to go on the outside and have a attorney that you really want to work with and can answer those questions in less or more than an advisory role. So on the next slide, I think here's where you would go to find a mentor. And it's really important that you do go to the www.score.org, find a mentor, because they will ask you to sign up. And then that way you put in your zip code and you will be given, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 different mentors for you to look at their backgrounds, their expertise, and you can select who you'd like to work with. The one thing I do want to make sure you understand is that if you don't connect with the first mentor you work with, please ask for a different mentor, because a lot of this is chemistry and good fit and understanding of what you're trying to accomplish. And it may take more than one person to actually, be the right one to work with you. So don't give up is my advice. And we're very understanding and sympathetic to that, we don't all fit, and you got to find the one that does. So with that, I think we're ready for Suzanne. And I just want to really give a shout out or kudos to Suzanne. She's worked with our chapter and SCORE for several years, and she's been very instrumental in helping not only our chapter members, but myself as the head of marketing and workshops and outreach with some of the strategic ways of thinking about a small business. And so I only have really positive things to say about her. I think that you'll find her webinar to be extremely interesting, but I'd also just like to encourage you to give her a shout out after the webinar tonight if you're interested in working with her, because I can highly recommend her.
Thank
and with
you.
that, I'll turn it over to you, Susanna.
Thank you. I didn't even have to pay you for that. That was awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about simple and effective marketing strategies. I'm politely calling it during an uncertain time, but let's be honest, it's during a what the heck is going on time. And I actually built some polls into this, and I've never used this before. So this is me being honest and saying I'm going to try and use the polls feature on Zoom, never having done that before. So if I fail miserably, you will be forewarned. Okay. So this is my little journey. So people are asking me all the time, like, how did you get to do what you do for a living? Before the year 2000, I was a corporate employee. I was a systems analyst at AT&T. Married, 2 kids, the house, the 2 cars, the typical suburban, very boring life. But in the year 2000, my husband passed away unexpectedly. I was all of 42, he was 43, and all of a sudden I had to raise 2 kids on my own, but I thought that's fine. Not that it was fine, but I thought in terms of my finances, well, I'm like, well, I still have a corporate job, so I'm okay. And then, of course, in the year 2003, I got downsized from AT&T, and all of a sudden, I was a widow with 2 kids and no job and a mortgage. So in 2004, I decided I'm going to try and get, just keep control over my finances, over my life, and I'm going to run my own business instead of getting employed by someone else who's going to turn around and unemploy me. So I became a home computer tutor. That was the first time I've ever been in business. I had never taken any business courses in my whole life. And I made the mistakes to demonstrate that. I had a lot of wins. I had even more losses. And I just found the whole experience to be both thrilling and terrifying. So in 2011, I met Mike Michalowicz. Some of you may have or have not heard of him. He's in New Jersey. He's a business author, and I met him a long time ago when he was kind of just starting out, and he became my first business coach, and he showed me firsthand all the mistakes I had been making and kind of guided me in the right direction. In the year 2012, I realized that my first business was like, I'm done, I'm burned out, can't do it anymore. And so I had been helping people with their marketing. And so I started a marketing business. It's something I was doing every day anyway, might as well do it for other people. And I was doing that for a bunch of years until I realized people were asking me, can you just do my marketing for me? And I'd say, well, okay, but like, what's the plan? What's the strategy? They'd go, I don't have a plan, just do the marketing for me. And I said, no, we can't just do marketing without a reason, without a goal, without a process, without a plan, without a strategy. And they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, lady. So I was like, okay, I see a need for helping people establish their strategy, establish their plan, and help them get to their goals. So mapping back over to my old business coach, Mike Michalowicz, he had written a book called The Pumpkin Plan, and he formulated a training and certification program around the Pumpkin Plan. And so I became trained and certified in that. And so that is what I do every day now. I'm a small business strategist. I love, love, love strategizing with small business owners, helping them get from point A to point B using a process. That is my everyday joy right now. So enough about me. As you know, being a business owner is all the emotions. It's exciting, it's terrifying, it's electrifying, it's painful, it's thrilling, it's boring. Every day you wake up feeling one thing and 2 hours later you might feel the opposite. It's a lot. It's just a lot. And, you know, as many business books as we can read and follow, it's always a new challenge and always a new win, always a new loss every day. So it really is quite the roller coaster ride. And in regular times, you know what you do, you know what you're really good at, and you feel like you're strong, you're an expert, you can, it's easy to flex your expertise when the economy is going well, when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. You feel confident in your superpower, and you can feel free to invite your clients to rely on you to solve their challenges. And you can just focus on doing what you do and what you love to do, and really finding joy in serving your clients every day. But whether it's a pandemic or a recession or anything else that's going on in the world, if you're in a period of uncertainty, a great uncertainty, when it comes to deciding how to market yourself, market your company, market your services, you feel like hiding. You're like, I don't even know what it is I'm supposed to do. What's the right approach? What am I supposed to say? What's appropriate to say? Is there something I can't say? You wind up being so worried about saying the wrong thing that you sometimes say nothing at all. And in the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people just kind of shut down, not only because of the emotional trauma we were going through, but because we were so afraid of saying the wrong thing and feeling like maybe it's even inappropriate to talk about my business at this time. Am I being insensitive? So a lot of people just like zipped it shut and didn't do anything at all to move their business forward, just because of fear. And so, we've kind of, I don't want to say we've gotten used to this pandemic, because I don't think that's even possible, but we've been kind of in it for a while. So, we know by now this is not the time to hide. You are a business owner, you have something to offer, you have something meaningful to offer. You have clients who want you, your services, your products, and this is just not the time to hide. It's not going to serve anyone. So we're going to be addressing these questions, and I'm going to open up my chat box over here. So at any point in time, if you have a question about anything at all that I'm saying, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and I've actually gotten quite good at going back. My eyes are going to go from the slides to the chat box. So feel free to do that, okay? So the bargain is this. You feel free to say anything you want, and I will keep my eye on the chat box to answer questions. So what we're going to be addressing today is, when it comes to marketing your message, what is it that they need to hear from you during this time right now, today? and tomorrow, but especially today, what do they need to hear from you right now? How can you plan your marketing when you don't even know what tomorrow is going to look like? We don't even know. There's rules changing all the time. Who's open, who's not allowed to open? How can we open? We don't even know. There's so many uncertainties. It's almost impossible to plan your marketing, but there's certain things we can do. Is it appropriate to ask for business while everyone is still in a very fearful mode? And what are some smart and simple strategies that we can actually count on? So here's my first attempt at a poll. So if you can, woohoo, it works. Launch polling. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. How are you going to reopen your business in the coming weeks? Are you going to operate the same as before? Have the same service as before, but a new process? Offer completely different services than before? Or you're not thinking you're going to open anytime soon? So take a minute to think about how you're going to, what are your plans for reopening? Okay, get in there and do the poll. Okay, I only have 9 people. I know there's more than 9 of you there. Don't be shy. I can't, by the way, I can't see who it is. So if you're worried about anonymity, I don't see any names, I just see numbers. So far, 3 of you are planning on operating the same as before. 5 of you are planning on offering the same service, but a new way, a new process to deliver that service. 2 people are saying they're going to offer different services than before, and happy to see that no one is worried about reopening anytime soon. So you're all moving forward. Okay, so 6 people now, same services before, but new processes. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for playing. We always wanted to, kind of take the temperature of the room, see where everybody's at. Thank you very much. Okay. So the winner is same services before, but new processes. So share the results. Okay. So back to here. So what we're going to do is take the time, kind of take a pause to plan. We're not going to stop marketing altogether. We're not going to stop moving our business forward, but we're going to take a little pause just to do some planning. So again, this is not the time to go radio silent. We do want to keep a flow going. You want to plan the frequency of how many, what's the frequency of your messages going out. I'm going to check which marketing channels are appropriate for you. And I'm going to kind of do you guys a favor right now and say that you should probably not be focusing on any more than 3 places. So you say, my 3 places, I know for me, my 3 places are I blog, I email, I do LinkedIn. Those are my 3, and pretty much that's where I concentrate my efforts. But for you, your 3 might be totally different than mine, and that's okay. So just think about, planning your frequency especially. And I'm going to say that for the most part, because there's so many questions out there, this is the time to actually increase your marketing, not decrease. I have an accountant who I'm doing the marketing for, and she was almost reticent to do even once a month. Now she's doing 2 to 3 times a month because she's getting swamped with questions about taxes and PPP and all that stuff. So, she's actually doubling up on her marketing. So the first thing you want to do when you're taking your time to plan is to take note of kind of what's going on out there, especially in terms of your clients, your prospective clients, and your past clients. So you want to check in. You want to absolutely one by one check in with people who maybe you've served them in the past, or maybe they're really good networking associates. Call them, make appointments to call them, not to sell them, but to say, hey, how's it going? What's up? What's been going on in your business? And just pretend you're a newspaper reporter and just interview them, because right now this is a learning experience. You're kind of understanding who is all out there, what are they talking about. Take notes of what was covered in your conversation. It's really important for you to talk to your past clients or current clients, maybe even people you were hoping that would work with you in the future. Call each person, ask them a ton of questions, and just let them know, hey, I just wanted to see what was up with you, and make sure you're okay. And do you have any, is there anything I can help you with? And just kind of be a friend right now. So you want to take notes, so you don't want to leave it to chance and leave it to memory. You actually want to keep taking notes, because those notes are going to be really important. They're going to clue you in on, hey, everyone is talking about this, or everyone seems to have questions on that. It looks like this is a good thing for me to address in my marketing. So, consider that a data gathering exercise. And, make a note on your calendar to check in with somebody again if you feel it's appropriate. And even if somebody was a prospective client of yours, and if right now they're not ready for any reason whatsoever, this isn't the time for you to say, oh, well, to heck with him, not going to bother with him anymore. Like, you don't know what they're going through right now. So just check in, see how they're doing, do your marketing. And if they're not ready to buy from you now, they may be ready in a couple weeks, couple months, whatever have you. But because you've been checking in with them, and you've been on, really coming from a place of your heart to say, how are you doing, they're more likely to remember you than someone who didn't take the time to check in with them. So, when you're doing your plan, and you're planning your marketing, you're planning your content and your messages, you want to make sure that this is the time where being more personal is going to be the winning strategy. And don't fake it. Be real. So be real, be honest, be open, be personal. Be giving. People love it when you offer help, you give them a tip, you give them advice, you give them whatever. Offer to, my favorite thing is to connect people. I love introducing people. So I'm always saying, who do you want to be introduced to? I know a lot of people. How can I help you? This is a time for two-way connection. This is not the time for you to be posting a bunch of marketing messages and then, kind of shutting the door and going away. This is time for you to be asking questions. You make a statement and say, so how about you guys? Give me your feedback. And you constantly ask for a two-way engagement, a two-way conversation. And when they're doing the talking, listen. This is a fantastic time for you to really listen, find out what they're worried about, find out what their concerns are about, and that's going to feed your marketing. So one of the things I always talk about with my clients is to have a deeper understanding of what your clients are going through and what they really need. And I always say that when a client first comes to you, or a prospective client first comes to you, and you say, you're like, okay, so what's the challenge I can help you with? They always give you the polite answer first. So you always see the tip of the iceberg. And so your job is to not accept that first polite answer. Your job is to dig deeper and ask more and more questions until you understand what's really going on. So, I'm not going to go through all of them, but for example, if I wanted to go find a place to go exercise, and I talked to a personal trainer, and they'd say, like, why do you want personal training? I'm like, oh, I just want to be, stronger, more fit. And I'd give the surface answer. But it's her job then to really ask me a ton of questions, so that we dig deep and we find out what's really bugging me, and what do I really need help with. And it doesn't matter what you do for a living, there's always a way to keep asking questions and keep digging, find out what the real deeper need is. Once you get to that deepest need, now you understand how to serve that person the best. And you also understand how to attract more people. So, what do clients typically ask for when, what's their polite answer when you ask them, what interests you about, why did you come to me? Why are you calling me? What's interesting you about my business? You always want to ask them the polite answer, the polite question first, and then you want to kind of lean in. And then find out, because of this situation, what do they need help with right now? What they need help with on a deeper level may be different today in June than it was back in February when we didn't have so many things to worry about. So always think about moving forward. This is really critical. I hear a lot of people saying, well, I used to do this and I used to do it that way. And, life used to be good and business used to be regular. And now everything's like, shot to hell, whatever. It doesn't, whatever the situation is today, it is what it is. So we need to address what's going on today and what might be happening tomorrow. Leave the past behind. The past is past. It's done, it's finished, it's completed. We cannot go back in time. We probably don't really want to. So think about moving forward. How can you move forward? Explore ways to, if what you used to do yesterday is not going to work tomorrow, how are ways that you can explore to do things differently? Either offer the same services a different way, or maybe just say, you know what, I think it's time for a whole new change. I'm going to offer completely, new services or a completely modified service. So before you launch your reopening marketing, and it's kind of exciting to call it the reopening, you want to determine your ideal audience. Who are the people that you really, really want to work with? Because we've all had the experience, I think, of working with terrible customers and working with wonderful customers. And I think we can all agree that we don't want to work with those terrible customers anymore. Wouldn't it be nice if we can wake up every morning knowing that all the customers that we're going to be seeing today are wonderful people who are going to bring joy to our day, and we can spend the rest of our lives, experiencing that. That's what we all want. So take the time to talk to your top clients, ask tons of questions, listen and take notes, go beyond the polite answers, and find out what they really need. The reason I'm saying talk to your top clients and not all of your clients is that what we really want to do is clone your top clients, because we want 75 of that really terrific person rather than take a whole collection of people who may be terrible and may be good. So given the constraints of what we're dealing with right now, how can you best give them the solution they're really seeking at the moment? So if you can just take a moment to type in the chat box, give me a brief description of exactly who you serve and why they come to you. So who's your top client, your best client? What's a description? Doesn't have to be lengthy. Just describe for me in the chat box who you serve, what's your best customer like, and why that person comes to you. Is everybody able to type in the chat box? So I'm not seeing anything yet. Okay, hold on. No, are you guys, is anyone having trouble with the chat box? Okay, now it's coming in. Thank you. Whew, starting to panic. Okay, so Deborah's just starting out. Sean is saying wholesalers come to us because we have low prices and we have inventory on hand for them. So Valerie says people who live locally and trust us. So I want you to think about what makes them really terrific, as opposed to the people that you've been dealing with that are not so terrific. And so it's a whole process, and it's a topic for another whole presentation. But just in general, when you're planning out your marketing, you definitely want to take a look at who your top client is and why are they your top client. So Hetty services the elderly. They need help keeping financial affairs in order. Gladys wants to serve upper middle income and above. All hell is breaking loose regarding healthcare. Absolutely, they need you, Gladys. Joan is saying this is a speculative new business, small firms needing help with administration and projects. Ann is saying someone who's having trouble managing their finances. Oh, that's nobody, Ann. No one's having trouble managing their finances. We're all good. Feeling a little lost in the spiritual arena. Sean is saying that they're reliable, repeat customers we have close connections with, and they pay on time. Yay, Sean. Paying on time. That is just like the magic words, right? Thank you for sharing that, everybody. So you want to get to know your buyer very well. And I want you to think about the fact that this is a lesson I learned a long time ago from my first business coach, Mike. You can't, if you try and serve everyone every which way, you're going to wind up serving no one. And your marketing is going to stink. It's going to be generic. It's not going to attract anyone. So if you understand who you want to attract, you can talk directly to them and you can use the words they want to hear, and you can use the tool that has the most meaning for them. So if I wanted to reach certain population that typically hangs out on Facebook, but I'm trying to reach them on LinkedIn, it's not going to work. If I'm trying to reach people by emailing, and the people I'm trying to attract almost never pick up their email, it's not going to work. The right person with the right tool with the right message, you've got to get those three components in order, or you're going to be stuck in the hamster wheel of marketing. So I'm going to go through the buyer's journey fairly quickly. I did not invent this, wish I did, but it goes a little something like this. When faced with a problem, something we need to solve, we typically search for a solution 3 different times. First is the awareness phase, then the consideration, and then the decision phase. And you need to plan your marketing around each of the 3 phases so that you can reach people in each of those times saying certain things. Now, in the awareness stage, all the potential buyer knows is, I have a problem. No idea how to solve it, no idea who's going to help me solve it, no idea what it's going to entail. I just know I have a problem. So we probably Google whatever the problem happens to be. In this example, I was working with a bookkeeper, and she said her clients usually come to her and say, my books are a mess and tax time is terrifying. That's all they know. My books are a mess. I'm terrified of tax time. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I have no idea what I'm doing. All they know is that they have a problem. So think about, what are the common problems of your clients? What are they suffering with? And what words do they use to describe their pain and suffering? Yeah, Gladys, I'm gonna send you the slides, absolutely. So in the consideration phase, now let's say we Googled the problem and we're getting only 5 billion hits on different ways to solve the problem. If my books were a mess and I was terrified of tax time, there's lots of different ways to solve that problem. So the bookkeeper's client could take a class on economics and accounting, or they can ask a family member who's good at accounting to kind of help them with it, or they could sign up for QuickBooks training. There's so many different things they can do. So right now in the consideration phase, we're weighing options. What's the best way I'm going to be able to solve this problem? So what are the ways your future clients have thought about or already tried doing to solve the problem that you can help them with? So you can focus on that in your marketing. In the decision phase, now the buyer knows how they're going to solve the problem, but now they need to know who is going to be the person who's going to guide them through that. So let's say they finally settled on the fact that, yeah, I need to hire a bookkeeper. Now they have to figure out who's the bookkeeper. So the buyer is analyzing whether you are the best provider of that solution. And so what are the words your buyer needs to hear to feel confident about hiring you? So your marketing should be revolving around that. If you put them all together, this is a really good way to map out your content. So whether you're blogging or you're emailing, some people say like, oh gosh, I'm not a writer, I don't like to write articles. But if you follow this map, it might make things easier for you. So you want to address each step of the way. Address the problem and what's the impact of that problem for the awareness phase. And then what are the different ways you can help them through the problem and which is the best option for them, and focus on the result they're going to see when they choose that option. That's the consideration phase. And then in the decision phase, it's up to choosing you. So it's your job to bring out your unique value, which is next week's workshop, why you're the clear choice, and offer them the simple next step in working with you. So always make sure you add that call to action. So hopefully that kind of crystallizes things. So we're going to talk about the basics of content, the what, how, where, and when. Time for a poll. Let's see if I can get this right, people. Okay, relaunch polling. Continue. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right, I'm going to try this again. Sorry. Well, looks like I can't figure out how to get to the next one. Oh, here we go. Woohoo, found it. All right, sorry about that. I warned you ahead of time. All right, so for this poll, want you to vote on how do you usually market your business. Some people say, I just use social media and call it a day. Some people say, I don't even like social media, I just do email marketing. Some people say, well, I blog and then I email market. And some people say, I blog, I email market, and I social media. I forgot to put an other, but if you could, if it's not showing up, darn it. Oh, launch polling, that would help. I'm sorry. Thank you, Anne, for alerting me. All right, so where do you market your services? Take a couple minutes and let me know what you do on a typical basis. So Gladys says, none of the above is I strategically network only. Well, that I will have to fix the poll for next time. That's a great answer. Thank you for sharing that. Patty does the same thing, strategically networking. I may have to help you both enter the world of email marketing. I think for both of what you do for a living, it would be extremely helpful for you to do some email marketing, and I'm not a big social media fan. So we're getting just one person does just social media, 3 people say just email marketing, 3 people do blogging, email, and social media. Anyone else? I know that's not all of you. I see a bunch of people on here, although some people are actually here twice. Okay, give you a couple more seconds. Deborah says she doesn't do any, but you just started. You're welcome, Alka. Calm and collected. I don't think anybody ever described me as calm and collected. Thank you. That's funny. Phone marketing. Okay. Awesome. You guys are so good. All right, I'm going to end the polling. Thank you for playing along. Share results. This is fun. Okay. So there's a tie between the just email marketing, and then there's a combination of blogging, email marketing, and social media. So just understand who your best clients are and where you can best reach them. You know, are they people who read their emails or not? Are they people who are on social media or not? The blogging, I'm gonna just plug that in there. Blogging is great for SEO. It's a way to actually get Google to pick up on the activity in your website. So for that reason, consider blogging. Blogging is a great way to attract brand new people, okay? So just a little thought there. Okay, back to here. Thank you for playing. So, when you're delivering your marketing and you're thinking about your content, I know we've all heard in the past to, be kind of assertive in our sales and triple your prices and go make seven figures and go out there, go for the sale and everything. Right now, this may not be the best time for that type of language. And it may be better to just kind of be very simple and down to earth and very basic. So, this may not be the time to try and conquer the world. This may be time just to get to the next step. And so, if you think about business and selling and marketing, we're just building a trade. You need my services, you can give me dollars. And it's just a simple trade back from, like the 14th century or whatever. So, we're not going to worry about anything super fancy right now. Maybe we can get back to that mode next year. This year, let's keep it simple, let's keep it basic, let's keep it personal and more human. So for those of you who are kind of worried about, selling and marketing and asking for money and is this appropriate, you're just delivering a solution in return for money. That's it. It's the basic of business. And think about the fact that I don't know if any of you are in a like dollars for hours situation, but I'm going to suggest that you kind of get out of the mind frame of dollars per hours. Think about the fact that you have a solution that they really need, and you have a way to deliver that provides that person with a transformation. And that's what people want. They want a unique experience, they want a transformation. So think about the fact that you need to keep your marketing simple, but it's not the time for you to say, okay, I'm only going to charge $5. No, you need to charge what you're worth, and within reason. So when I say, keep the marketing personal, I was helping a commercial cleaning company with their email marketing. And first they sent me, photos with, stock image photos with perfectly perfect people running these cleaning machines. And I said, no, let's go, can you just have your guys take selfies in their garb and send them to me so I can include in their email marketing. I think this is adorable. The guys were like, yeah, we'll take selfies, and they're hamming it up in their, in their PPE suits. And because we were showing the real employees with the real garb in the real locations, it worked really well. They definitely got more engagement doing that. So now they just keep sending me those real photos every time. And it really does work because people appreciate honesty and they appreciate seeing the real you. This is not the time to do the very formal corporate voice. This is a time to switch over to just an open, honest, real conversation. And you definitely want to acknowledge whatever situation you're in. Everybody is in a different situation today, tomorrow, next week, next month. So just let people know what's going on. So I always say marketing is dating and the sale is the marriage proposal. Hopefully no one's ever gone on a first date and gotten a marriage proposal because that would be really creepy. So just like with people to people relationships, business to business relationships also need to take the time to grow a relationship, to build trust. And you can do this in the middle of a crisis. And this is a picture of me. This is an excerpt from one of my email marketing campaigns, letting people know what was happening in my life and letting them know that I was in the same situation as they were, and completely just building rapport. It's all I was doing is building rapport. I got a wonderful feedback. I got wonderful engagement from that. So people want real relationships. You can sell. People still need what you have to offer. People still want what you have to offer. You don't have to offer anything weird or super extravagant. Just offer the stuff that people want and need. And as I said before, this isn't the time for a hard sell. Just present what you have and why they would want it. remember the buyer journey. Understand that right now people may take longer to decide. And maybe the opposite. Maybe they're even quicker to decide now because of the situation, or they may be taking longer to decide because of the situation. So just be patient, have that extra layer of patience. And again, I was actually in a meeting this morning with Mike Kalowitz, and I wrote down the fact that he said, you have an obligation to sell. And I thought, oh my God, I've never heard anyone actually say those words. He's right. The point is that the economy is what makes the world go round. And if we decide, oh, we're not going to sell now, we're going to, just hold off on selling anything right now, it doesn't seem to be polite. That's nonsense. It's our obligation to help the economy grow and help the economy get back on track. And the only way to do that is if we sell. We need to sell our services. So get out there and sell. So take a minute about communications plan. So what we've been saying before, if you're ready to rock your reopening, your tone should be confident, positive, hopeful. Please spell out all the details they'll need to begin working with you again in your content. And you'll want to communicate more often just because the rules are changing every day. This is the best time right now, and maybe even weekly, to update your website. I am not kidding. Update your website this week. You want to add some sort of situation statement because we're all searching. We're searching for what you do. We don't know. Are you open? Are you not open? Are you, and so if you have new services because of the pandemic, lay out your new services on your website, and again, make it positive and productive and hopeful. So I blocked out the name of this business. It's a salon. And I thought, oh gosh, these people really missed the boat. And this is what happens when you don't update your website. So they said, according to New Jersey, we're closing, March 20th until further notice. What? Okay, so what are we doing? We're just bypassing them. Well, they're closed. And they definitely missed out on an opportunity. Now, they could have, updated their website even once a week with some kind of a situation statement. This is a personal training studio who did put a situation statement on her website banner. It's very prominent. As soon as you go to her homepage, there it is. So she's offering FaceTime sessions and health coaching where she didn't offer that before. And here's the jewelry store who, this is just a clip from their homepage saying we're now open for curbside pickup and virtual appointments. So they're informing people of how to do business with them. So update your website. In terms of your content, what are you going to say? This is a really, really good guideline. Always talk about your customer as if they are the hero. So in the old way of marketing, we would say, I'm the best, I'm wonderful, everyone wants to work with me. So you make yourself out to be the superhero. In this day and age, it's very ineffectual. If you want to get the right kind of attention, you want to talk about your client as the hero. You are simply their guide, their champion. You're there to support them. If you talk about yourself as like the wonderful, end to all problems, people are going to be turned off and they're going to turn away. They're going to go to your competitor. If you want the right attention, the focus is on the customer and how you understand the customer and where they're coming from and what they're struggling with. And you let them know that it is your mission to serve them. With that kind of statement, with that kind of message, now they're paying attention. You want to serve your mission, go back. Do you have a mission statement in your website? If you don't have a mission statement on your website, put it on there. What is your company's mission? What did you get into business to do in the first place? Think about your core values and be sensitive, of course, to the current situation. Just another little tip, if you had adjusted your prices because of the pandemic, or if you are going to be adjusting your prices, make sure you let people know in plain English what the price is. Is there an expiration? Is there a special deal for a certain number, a certain time, and an expiration date? Just be very clear. So don't say, until further notice, we're gonna slice our prices in half. That's no, that doesn't make any sense at all. But if you want to say for the first few weeks, we're lowering our price because everyone's in a tough situation, but as of August, we're going to be putting it back up. Just let people know what's going on. People want clarity. So a couple of my favorite marketing secrets. Number one, if you're working on all that content and you're generating all that content, recycle it. Don't ever create one thing for one reason and then throw it out for forever and ever. So if you write an article, post it on your blog page of your website, make it part of your email campaign, share it on social media, and then repurpose it into something new. So I'm kind of the queen of recycling here. I have taken a presentation and turned it into a workbook. I've taken a workbook, turned it into an article, which went into a presentation, which went into something else. I'm constantly thinking, I created this thing with my blood, sweat, and tears. What am I going to do with it? What can I do with it now? Marketing secret number 2 is to follow a process. Create a process for how you're going to execute your marketing and planning your marketing, and just follow that same process every single week or month. Plan out your frequency, your schedule, your topics and themes ahead of time. Not a few minutes beforehand, but like a month ahead of time. Your content needs to be in your true voice. It needs to be consistent. It needs to provide value. You want to distribute it among probably no more than 3 meaningful channels, so that you just don't need to go crazy and spend your whole life marketing. Once you distribute your message, you want to analyze, okay, I said this thing, now what happened? You want to push out your content and then pull back the engagement. What was your website traffic like? What was the visits to your Facebook page, or clicks on LinkedIn, or whatever have you? I shouldn't have to say this, but I need to say it. If it works, do it again. If it doesn't work, don't do that thing anymore. I unfortunately talk to people who say, well, I keep doing it. I'm like, well, is it working? Well, no. But then why are you still doing it? Well, because we've always done it, and this is our process. We always do it. I said, but it's not working. Oh, but maybe someday, if we just keep hammering this square peg into this round hole, maybe someday it'll fit. I'm like, no. If it's not working, be prepared to change course and do something different. So it's almost 5 o'clock, and I want to thank you for playing along with my crazy polls and my questions, and I want to offer a thank you gift from me. So this is a link to schedule a phone consult with me. Anyone who wants to schedule a phone consult with me, go ahead and use that link. I will try and copy it here. I'm going to copy it here. It's calendly.com, Susanna F. phone consult. It's just a free 30-minute call. Hopefully I spelled that right. And when we do that, when we have our phone consult, I will be happy to give you a workbook that, you guessed it, originated from one of my presentations. So 7 keys to grow a profitable business is one of my favorite presentations. It covers these topics, and so I liked the presentation so much I turned it into a workbook. And you'll be getting that if you schedule a consult with me. And the other little gift is, if you go to my website, you'll see, go to the home page, and towards the bottom, you'll see this, another workbook. Yeah, I'm a frustrated kindergarten teacher. And it's called the Perfect Prospect Discovery Path. And it's going to help you discover who your ideal client is. So again, that's on my website. I would love for you to go find that and download that, and and put it to work for you. Really put it to work for you. Don't just download it, just really do it. Do the homework, put it to work for you. And of course, if there's any way at all I can help you, I would love that. Um, General questions. I'm not running off anywhere anytime soon. So if you have any questions at all, please throw in the box, or I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself or not. But I would love to hear your questions because I'm sure there's something I did not cover because it's a really big topic and I can likely talk about it for hours. You're welcome, Alyssa. I am very delighted to give you this information. Thank you, Anne. Any questions at all? Anything that you know, if you've been trying a certain type of marketing and it wasn't working, let's hear about it. Maybe I can offer you a little bit of advice. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen, to answer the polls, to answer my questions. Thank you, everybody. That's such nice comments. Wow. Cool. I love doing this, as you can tell. I probably am a frustrated kindergarten teacher, but I love presenting really great, actionable information and helping people get on their way. So I am, with all my years of marketing, I'm also, as I said before, I'm a strategist. I can help you with your strategy overall, not just marketing. If there's any way I can help you at all, just reach out to me. I'm going to put my email here, even though I probably had it on my slides. But just if you want to grab it from here, and go ahead and schedule that 30-minute consult. I'll be looking forward to talking to you, Gladys. And final plug for SCORE. Please, 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 if you don't have a SCORE mentor, please do yourself the biggest favor ever and go to score.org. Go find yourself a mentor. Yes, you can have a SCORE mentor, a business coach, a strategist, a marketing coach. You can have all those people at work for you. The more help you can get, the better success you'll see, I guarantee it. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and hope to talk to you soon. I'm gonna stop the recording.